Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLune 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The museum thieves murder plot that was solved by an iPad caked in mud. The discovery of an iPad found caked in mud on the foreshore of the River Thames led to the untangling of an international web of organized crime. The item found downstream of the O2 Arena in southeast London was a key piece of evidence in an investigation which culminated in 3 people being found guilty of plotting to kill a former cage fighter convicted of Britain's largest cash robbery. The iPad itself was found by a police officer with a metal detector in November last year and had been underwater for over 5 years, according to the BBC. It was cleaned up and found to still contain a Vodafone SIM card, which contained damning call data evidence on 3 men. Paul Allen was paralyzed for life after shots were fired at his rented home in Woodford Green, northeast London, in 2019. The large, detached house was owned by comedian Russell Kane. Louis Ahern, 36, his brother Stuart Ahern, 46, and Daniel Kelly, 46, were found guilty at the Old Bailey on Monday, March 24, of plotting to murder Allen with unknown others. Jurors heard Allen was convicted at Woolwich Crown Court in 2009 for his part in Britain's biggest armed robbery, at Securitas in Kent, in which £54 million in cash was stolen, much of which has never been recovered. Redmore Met Police gets permanent facial recognition cameras, dystopian nightmare. By 2019, Allen had been released from prison and moved from South London to northeast London, where he lived with his partner and young children. The court heard how the defendants had planned the shooting carefully, carried out surveillance, and fitted a tracker device to the victim's car to track his movements. The defendants traveled from their neighborhood in the Woolwich area of southeast London, through the Blackwall Tunnel, to the victim's new home in Malvern Drive in a car hired 2 days earlier by Stuart Ahern. While Stuart Ahern waited in the car, Kelly and Louis Ahern snuck into a garden overlooking Mr. Allen's back garden. At around 11:09 p.m., 6 shots were fired through the back doors and windows, striking Mr. Allen in the neck as he stood in the kitchen. According to the BBC, 1 bullet passed through his throat and lodged itself in his spinal cord. The men fled back to the waiting car, which sped off, leaving their victim fighting for his life. During the police investigation, DNA was recovered from the garden fence, which matched that of Kelly and Louis Ahern. Bullet casings in the garden were matched to a Glock handgun, which was compatible with a laser sight recovered from Kelly's address. Further CCTV evidence picked up the hire car driven by Stuart Ahern. The court also heard the 3 men had snatched Ming Dynasty antiques worth more than $2.78 million $3.5 million from a Swiss museum shortly before the murder plot. Jurors heard agreed facts about the defendants' previous criminality, relating to a burglary at the Museum of Far Eastern Art in Geneva on June 1, 2019, a month before Allen was shot. Don't miss, airlines threaten to sue Heathrow Airport for costs incurred from closure latest. Locals demand London Park be locked at night over mass orgies and drug-taking report. Protests see Israel flag set alight after Don't Come to London warning revealed. We use your sign-up to provide content in ways you've consented to and to improve our understanding of you. This may include adverts from us and third parties based on our understanding. You can unsubscribe at any time. Read our privacy policy. 3 pieces of Ming-era porcelain were taken from the museum, which had a combined insurance value of £2,760,000, $3,580,000. The items were an early 15th century bottle with a secret pomegranate decoration, a small wine cup known as the chicken cup, and a 14th century and Huon Phoenix design bowl. The defendants flew to Hong Kong on June 14, 2019, where they attempted to sell the Phoenix bowl at an auction house. Stuart Ahern was eventually arrested with another man at a London hotel as they tried to sell the Ming vase to an undercover police officer on October 16, 2020. A later search of a property revealed a passport in the name of Stuart Ahern and a book on Ming Dynasty antiques, the court was told. The brothers were extradited from Switzerland to face trial for the shooting. Jurors were also told how two of the defendants were also involved in another burglary in Sevenoaks in Kent, the day before Allen was shot. The Renault captor hired by Stuart Ahern from a dealership in Dartford, Kent, was used by the other two defendants in a burglary on a gated community in the county, the court was told. Louis Ahern, from Greenwich, southeast London, and Stuart Ahern and Kelly, both of no fixed address, had denied the charge against them. They were remanded into custody to be sentenced by Judge Sarah Whitehouse KC at the Old Bailey on April 25. Reacting to the verdicts in the dock, Stuart Ahern shouted to the jury, "You are only human. That's all I have to say about that." Det Supt Matt Webb from Scotland Yard said, "This attack may look like the plot to a Hollywood blockbuster, but the reality is something quite different. This was horrific criminality. The court heard how this was a clear and defined attempt to take a man's life, with those responsible making significant efforts to ensure this was successful." Daniel Kelly, Louis and Stuart Ahern will now undoubtedly face significant custodial sentences, and I hope this time at His Majesty's pleasure, provides them the opportunity to reflect on their criminality and the impact it has on society.